back to another episode of Gurukul Online Learning. So we have collected around 4 tons together, and I've been kept on saying that we are going to need to learn these tons to eventually put them inside a composition. So today is that day when we start learning our first composition. So we've already gone through the basics and fundamentals of Tabla, and from this lesson onwards, we are going to need Tabla for learning. So there are a few solutions to having a Tabla while we practice. One of them primarily is, of course, having a real human Tabla player with you. But these days it's not possible all the time, especially during this lockdown. So I have downloaded here an Android app. It's called Tabla Studio, something like this. And I see there are other Tabla apps that you need to buy. I downloaded a free version, but you could also buy a Tabla machine. You could also buy a computer software called Ria Studio. I think it's probably the best out there. For today, I'm going to hook this up to my Bluetooth speaker and use that. So first and foremost, let's listen to the sound that this Tabla software is producing. So there is this thing called beats per minute, or BPM, which is essentially your speed. And this is a 90 BPM that I have chosen for today's practice. It's going to also show you the beat count. So we are gradually approaching 1, 16, 1. That's your sum. And then you have your Kali, which is about Kali. And then 1 again. 1. So we'll come to this sooner or later. First, let's down the Bandish. So it's nothing out of the ordinary that you haven't already learned yet. We are going to combine the stroking patterns that we've already learned, and then we are going to use the shiftings that we have learned. It's a very basic Bandish. Even though this Bandish was taught to me as my first Bandish and as my first composition, and it was because it was boiled down to something very easy. However, this is originally a Tanana, played at amazing lightning fast beats by Vilayat Khan. You could always search him up, Ustad Vilayat Khan Yaman, and you're going to find a recording of him. I am guessing somewhere between 70s and 80s, where he plays this Bandish. I'm going to teach you that very Bandish, but in a much boiled down, much diluted form to simplify it. So we're going to start by the first line, which is Sa, Ga, Ga, Re, Ga. So you're going to play Da, Dara, Dara on your right hand, and on your left hand, Sa, Ga, Ga, Re, Ga. So demonstration. That's the first line that you're going to play. So you remember Dara, Da, Dara, 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 Dara. So we are going to use that bowl over here. So Sa, Ga, Ga, Re, Ga. Da, Dara, Dara. And then you're going to use a chikari for a beat. So every note, every portion here is going to represent one beat. So going to the second line, Pa, Ma, Da. So from the beginning again. So that's your second line. The third line being coming back, Ni, Da, Da, Pa, Ma. And then Ga, Re, Re, Sa, Ni. If I play it all together, then if I boil it down to the stroking pattern, it's going to be Da, Da, Ra, Da, Ra, and then Chikari, and then Da, Ra, Da, 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 Ra, Da, Ra, Da, Da, Ra, Da, Ra. So we get to see Da, Da, Ra movement. This movement is very frequent in this specific bandish. So one more thing that I would like you to notice is the starting. There are always three parts to a composition. One is the starting or the mukra, the second is the body or the mancha, and the third and ultimate line is the ending or the antara, which is basically equates to being the ending. More on that later. So the mukra, we are going to play the mukra only, which is starting from sam, which is why understanding sam and kali is extremely important. So we start from sam, which is dha, from dha dhin din na, and dha is where the sa, the very first note, is going to be placed. So I hope that you understood what the bandish, the composition and its lines are. Now it's time that we play it with the tabla. So I'm going to start the tabla. The beats per minute I've set to 90, which I think is good enough for today. Start again and start. Dha dhin dhin dha, dha dhin dhin dha. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Stopping right here, one more thing that we need to understand. So teen taal is divided in 4 parts. So every part is equal to 4. 4 4s are 16. So we divided 16 into 4 parts, each part having 4 beats or 4 matras. So dha din din na, first 4, and then second 4, and then third 4, and then fourth 4. To break down the bandish even further, you're going to notice that this bandish itself, the mukra or the first part of the bandish, is set using all the 4 parts individually. So you have the first 4, which is dha dhin dhin dha, which is being represented by dha dhin dhin dha. The second 4, dha dhin dhin again, so pa ma dha. So dha dhin dhin dha, dha dhin dhin dha. And then you have the kali portion, which is na tin tin na, which is ni dha da pa ma dha din din da. And the last part, na tin tin na te te din din na, te te din din ha. So we're gonna play it just one more time. Na tin tin na te te din din ha. And I have to go back again. And that's it for today's class. You are recommended to download a software such as, and we'll meet again. Bye bye.